In for repair today we have our John Deere 8410, we have our John Deere 6910, we have a Pantera Rotovator, and we also have a Heavy disc. So just before we get started, we want to draw attention to Darkness in the Light, which takes place this Saturday.
The 11th of May, yeah. So basically we are walking in various locations around the country, but you can sign up on darknessintolight.ie. The walk is at 4:15 a.m, walking from Darkness into Light. It's a
native at the house,
it's
and it's a very good cause.
It's a brilliant cause.
Yeah,
so
it takes place every year. David's wife is involved in the charity this year, and she's organising.
Yeah, she's organising the event in Ferry House.
Yeah.
So there's numbers of them around the country, but get on to Darkness into Light and .ie and sign up and get out and walk with us on Saturday morning.
Yeah, so a really good cause, and hopefully we'll see us all from Darkness into Light. Yeah. So we're here with Mick with the seat out of, I don't know which tractor it is, but the John Deere, as Mick says, and it's a brand new seat. But the problem we had with it is that we put it in, which was fine, and it pumped up, which was grand, and then all of a sudden we could hear a bit of a leak.
I can't hear it here and here.
And the leak has stopped.
But it's gone.
But it's completely gone down.
Anyway.
Initially we thought it was because we had taken this seat out of one tractor into another, that maybe at some stage the bag might have got a little bit of a nip. But it didn't. So when we pumped it up again, Mick has the old fairy liquid job here.
The business. And it was...
He's after doing a little bit of washing up, and he has bits spare.
See the bubbles?
So if you can come in here, Katie's on the camera today. You can see it bubbling away.
And the strange thing is, there's nothing hidden there. Like when that seat goes down, we thought maybe it went down flat, it was pinched like you were saying.
Yeah.
But there's nothing anywhere near that when it's down all the way.
So it's this pipe here, which is in the braid along with that.
It's the blue one in there. It's covered in a braid.
So what's the fix, Mick?
I'm going to chance one of these. If not, I'll end up replacing the pipe, but we'll try and see. They're a quick coupler. Find a hole, cut it on the hole, clip it together. We'll see.
See how we go.
Just have to get it apart to see.
No, just not easy to take a seat out of any of those tractors. It's out
and to do with these seats as well.
Yeah, because it's so heavy and it's generally out the back window, then allowing that to take it out. But yeah, it's a brand new seat, but for some reason, a little bit of flaw on it, but we get it fixed, won't we, Mick?
Hopefully.
Will you? So we have our Pantera Rotovator in. Noticed a little bit of an eye leak on it the other evening, and it was actually when it was folded up, David, we could see a little bit of eye coming out of it. Wasn't just quite sure whether it was coming out of a bung.
Yeah.
Thought it might have been a bung, but we didn't change. We changed bearings and seals on the opposite side.
Yeah.
This side was perfect, but...
Well, we actually did have a little leak out of this before it went out, but we thought it was the bung because we tightened the bung and we got a half a turn on it, so we said, right, we cleaned it off.
Yeah.
And it stopped leaking, so we presumed it was the bung, but it's actually turns out it's a bit deeper than that. So as we got into it, then there's seals in here, double seals and bearings, taper roller bearings, but this sprocket here is damaged as well. So we're going to see, can we actually try and...
So if you physically turn that, and there's no harm just to check the gears on these, because... Right, okay.
Sean, you just take that crowbar out there.
We can see a little bit of a flaw in it here.
It's actually one of them is worse.
Feel it there.
Oh, there, that's it, yeah. So the danger is if we lose a tooth off this, because they're so crude and so big, if one of them goes down and jams in here, it could do untold damage in the gearbox inside. So it could do a gearbox, it could do the back end of your tractor, it could do anything. So these gears are all good here, so there's no point.
We're going to take this one off and replace this one.
Yeah.
And then we also have to drop the rotor out, which the rotor splits, and we have a double seal in there to replace on it as well.
Yeah. So we're going to take it off here. We'll strip all this side first. I can't remember whether we can get the inside seal from this side or not.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I'm stripping it this side without dropping the rotor out. If we can get away without dropping the rotor, happy days, but I don't think we'll be so lucky. Okay,
well, shall we let's chat that and we'll come back to you in a while.
Yeah, no bother. Okay. All right.
We have our Mitsubishi forklift in. It's an MI3, which is a 3-ton machine, diesel. And we were saying how good it was going on. That's always Murphy's Law. Yep. Next day in, we have problem with the brakes. So the brakes, we were losing pedal.
No pedal.
No pedal, yeah? No pedal. First obvious sign then is to check your
brake fluid
level.
Which is bone dry.
So the fluid is obviously going somewhere with no external leak.
Well, nothing we could see at the time. Normally you can see it around the drums on the face. The drums are over here. The face of the drum, you can normally see it on the edges here, on the back plate here. But this one, no. But funny enough, our engineer, he said he had come across it once or twice before. But it needed 2 or 3 fills for it to be wet enough to show.
So will you just explain, Mick, to the people that mightn't just how it actually works? And if we come down here, Katie, you might see it on a closer look.
In here we have our wheel cylinder, and that's our problem where brake fluid is going. As you can see, this one is not as bad as the other side. The other one is saturated. The shoes are soaked wet. Basically, what happens when you press the pedal, off that you have a master cylinder, which is like a syringe. When you push it forward, it pushes oil down in here. Probably won't. Oh, Jason, mind, don't blow the shoes off. There's nothing there on you. If you do that with no control, no drum on the outside, you run the risk of blowing the seals out of the master or the slave cylinder. That's known as the slave cylinder. And basically, it pushes the 2 shoes out, come in contact with the drum, friction, and you should stop. But the other side, there isn't a hope in hell of it stopping because the shoes are lubricated. An oil on brake shoes is not a good idea.
Yeah, so in Ahalone have we a leak. It's when the oil comes in, the brake fluid comes in contact with the shoes.
Yeah, and you can never get it out of them.
So if we see the drum here, this
That
is
one's dry.
the inside of the drum.
This one is a minor leak now. Get out of the way.
And it's right.
Even though the cylinder, but you'd call it a weepy cylinder there, but the other one is flying out.
Yeah, so you might see a little bit of a wetness. You should see a bit of a wetness on the drum, at the bottom of the drum.
Normally you're on the back plate, which is behind the drum there.
So the fix is to take out the 2
new shoes,
new
cylinder.
wheel cylinder.
And always you replace shoes both axles. So in case your friction material varies, you could get pull on the brakes. So you have a look at the far side here, you really see how wet it is.
From around here, Katie, we see it on this side.
That one's fairly obvious.
Yeah. So look at the oil, the brake fluid.
Yeah, it's saturated.
Yeah. Not a chance of that stopping.
No.
Okay, well then, we'll get them. You'll probably have them parts today, will you?
No.
No. Mick's favourite pastime is his forks. He loves his forks, don't you, Mick?
I don't mind them, they're not bad.
Yeah.
They're alright, they work on, they're okay. They don't have the electric system on the modern year. Well, they do now, they're leaning that way because the baby Manitou with a right job of it last week. I went into looking for regen. But to get it to go into regen, you have to have 4 bars in temperature gauge.
So you have to have it heated up before it'll actually
up to full
regenerate.
running temperature. But the problem was it was in limp mode, it wouldn't go above 1100 revs. And a diesel at that revs is very hard to get temperature into it. So we ended up going around the yard, tittling along very slow, blowing off spools, the whole lot. Next thing you went 4 bars, hit the button, into regen.
Yeah. That's the modern day machines. All right. 8410 in just with slight problem on horsepower, lack of horsepower, which John B wasn't too happy about, and we had a look at it. On probably initial looking at it was, we thought maybe it was the turbo.
Yeah, when we took it apart, it didn't seem overly bad. I didn't hear any comments back from the turbo crowd.
Yeah.
To me, it wasn't overly bad, but seemingly in and out is worse than up and down. And in and out, it was floating a fair bit compared to, up and down on
the play on it, yeah. So we took the bonnet off and we said we'd have a look at the turbo because that was what we were probably leaning towards. Yeah, it does seem to have a little bit of play on it. So we had a couple of options. We could either buy a new turbo or we could get a reconditioned one. So we said we'd try the reconditioned one, just not overly.
Its own one was being reconditioned.
Yeah, that one has only been reconditioned.
Yeah.
So I think it's around the 350 mark for reconditioned, probably around 1200 for a new one. Now, look, we'll see how we get on. We sent it away anyway. So the purpose of the turbocharger, Mick, is?
Increase the air amount going into the engine. So now you can increase the fuel amount going into the engine, so you get more power. Plus it makes the diesel far more responsive. Anyone who drove diesels before they had turbos on would realise it's a massive difference. You probably did.
Yeah.
And there are 3 types of turbos. There's one that's set to the max revs of the engine. Then you have wastegate turbo, and then you have variable vane turbo. The variable vane is probably the most common nowadays. It gives boost from very low down by altering the angle of the exhaust gas hitting the fan.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's definitely down. It could account for 50 or 60 horsepower there, couldn't it?
Oh yeah, easily.
So
just the sharpness it goes out of the engine. They're dull and lazy. Yeah. That was the easiest turbo I ever took off. You rang me, I was going back from Enfield on Monday, remember? I said, oh no, this was around 4 o'clock.
Because generally all the bolts are always seized, aren't they?
With the red and
If you see it up there, Katie, you'll see where actually it
That's your oil supply pipe there to lubricate from the gallery. It'll be down, coming off top of the oil filter here. And that one was solid. So I heated that. Well, David heated it for me. My fear always is when you go turning that with a pipe, you're going to rotate the pipe and snap it. Right? That's your return there. That's your exhaust which comes into your turbo, spins the fan, I would say. Yeah. There's a shaft going through, there's a fan on the other side, and that pumps the air which is going up to here.
Yeah, it's up on top
and
here.
then from there out into the intercooler. I saw a lovely demo years ago at a K-Sting. Intercooler out the front here. The engine was on a dyno.
He's really getting into it now. Look, he's engrossed. He's engrossed here on it.
Where's the intercooler?
It's
over on the far side there. And basically on the top of the intercooler they had a laser heat gun. 300 degrees going in, 50 degrees coming out on the bottom. And the thinner or the cooler you can get your air, the denser your air is, the more charge you get.
Okay.
It was a lovely demo, I thought.
What was the case?
Oh, sure, anyone could do it.
It broke down, you see, that's what's wrong with it.
No, it was a demonstration.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was a lovely one though.
Right, well, we get the turbo back and we get it fitted up and hopefully that will cure the problem. We think that's what it is anyway. Yeah, time will tell.
It is cheap enough fix.
Yeah.
Relatively.
6, 9, 10 in with a pickup hitch problem. Went to pick up the trailer the other day and while it lifts up, it won't lock in. Fairly common on the 6, 9, 10, especially on these locking mechanisms for the pickup hitch. Shawnee, what's your thoughts here?
Well, we go off this and see if the pins bent or something sees inside because there's new hitch cable on it, so there shouldn't be else other than
so
that.
If you look it down here, Katie, you'll see that we have the cable. This cable is coming from the cab. And we have a lever then to lift and to release that. So once that's released, there is another locking spring system in here that when the top of the hitch hits this little plastic spring loaded mechanism, it will release and the pin should come across and lock your hitch in place. But at the minute that's not happening because if I let that go. So in here, this is also spring loaded as well. We get Sean to take that off.
Yeah, and see if the pins bent.
And we'll have a look on that. Now, not that simple to take it off because we have these kind of two recessed bolts that...
You have more access if you drop the hitch. See you well.
To get in there.
Yeah.
There was also another modification on these, but actually put a ring on these which took in this bolt as well, which give it has support. I know we have it on one of the other tractors, it's not on this one. Yeah. So this one is the one from the cattle farm. So it's just important to get the hitch fixed up on it.
Have it right.
Right, we leave you out of that. So we have the unit here for the pickup hitch, and we have in the device, Sean. What's
seems seized.
Seems to be
absolutely nothing out of it.
Hello.
What's your memory of these, Mick? We had these out before on the last one. Yeah. Sometimes the pin can bend. I know that's one thing.
Let's try catching the pin and see if we can pull it up now, Sean. Try that now. Lock it there at that. That's jammed. Yep.
So we'll have to give that a tap at the hammer, and all of a sudden now it's after springing out. And as Mick suggested, and he is right, there is a spring here in the back of it. Now that may be some of the issue. That's a mixture of grease and dirt in there.
But I think it's trapping in there. You have to feed them in as you're going in.
So it's completely free now with this.
I'd say give it a good wash on for starting.
There's the pin just after popping out. So we give that a good clean and see what's going on there. If not,
it's just jammed.
Big
twist and lock and everything.
Yeah, we have replaced a good few of those. Probably no harm to have a spare one as well. This one here, I don't know.
That can be a problem.
There's a spot of a well now. That might be a problem as well there too. Or so. Yeah. So that's just releasing in and out. So right, I'll let you work away on that. Took all the crap out of it. Plenty in it. Loads, along with a bit of grease as well. So there was a mixture.
Try stuff go like concrete.
Yeah. So do we see anything?
No, what we did there was took the spring out and hooked that in, ran it all the way down, which it'll never do when the spring is on it because it can't, and it's not locking.
Yeah.
So it's free.
And there is a recess
finger.
out of it here, but the idea of the recess is that when it locks in, isn't it?
That's where?
What?
That part.
Sure.
Yeah. The locker hits here. You know the plastic yoke that swings down? That hits the face there. That's wear on it. Because what was throwing me first away, the angle is the wear, but that's the pull side there. This is in the back, isn't it? This is on the transmission side.
But is that not just a locating spot to make? I think
No, that's where.
Is it? Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am fairly certain, but sorry, Tom, fingers. We're having a good day with fingers.
So we'll put it back in and we'll see, we'll put a trailer on it, on the back of it, and see will it hook it up without any problems.
You have to watch that spring there.
Yeah, that spring has to go down.
And then we get that to go in there, and a combination with Sean and myself. Now what I normally do, I don't have one here with me, I put a pointy nose voice grips in through there and jam it on, because they're a pig to put on otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a tip for you now.
That's the tip of the week.
Tip of the week there, yeah. Get a pointy nose pliers and jam it in.
Something will jam it across. A screwdriver won't hold, but with a pointy nose voice grip.
Another small problem here on the park on the 6910, I just noticed it there as I moved it. Selecting gears, no problem. When we put it into park, it actually stayed in that thing, but what's happened, it's coming out of park. Now, what do you reckon, Sean?
Could be some simple as a spring, Paul, if we could.
Yeah, could be a spring in here. We'll probably just take that side cover off.
Yeah.
But it won't just stay in park there at the minute.
No.
Which is not ideal. If I bought a 1, 2, 3, 4. No, not ideal. That should lock into position and up.
It shouldn't be even that easy to.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be easy. So we'll just have a look at that. Small little job on here. I think you got the job of doing it for me.
Of course, yeah.
My toolbox. Now this was, I used this at the spud harvest and that was fine, but one day then it was left out and it got wet. Very, very handy toolbox to have. It has a little compartment here for buttoning your spanners and screwdrivers and that. The unfortunate thing is with Katie that with the current weather there, I left it outside and I filled it with water. So all the spanners were rusty. So what have we got here?
Bit of everything.
Bit of everything, yeah. So this would be your typical out of a toolbox there. I had a few adjustables in that because it's always handy. We have a little parts washer here and Katie's just going to wash them with a bit of diesel there, leave them soak over for a couple of hours there and then clean them and hopefully put it back in.
Yeah, well that's the plan.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
So,
see how it goes.
Right, go on, we leave you ahead there.
No bother.
Thank you. So unfortunately this is Katie's last week here on placement.
Yeah.
Well, we will be sorry to see her go. How did you get on? How did you find it?
It was a brilliant experience all over. I got a bit of everything. Got out into the spud fields eventually. Yeah. We're on the rotovators there for a couple of days.
Yeah, so she's actually driving the big, went for the big tractor, 300 horsepower, the Steyr.
Yeah.
Took Shawnee, which Shawnee's in the camera here, took it off him. Yeah. And she's been walking away this last couple of days. Then the rain came and stopped play. So anything else? You got to the cattle yard?
Got to the cows. Got around the yard, seen all the tractors. Got a bit of everything, which was great to see.
Yeah, good stuff. You were even welding yesterday here.
Oh, I was. Yeah, David set me welding. So
you'll be able to come and do his job shortly.
Well, we'll see.
Right, good stuff. Well, look, it was great to have Kay here along. As I say, she was just a pure pleasure. So hopefully we'll see you back at some stage.
Oh, definitely, we will be back.
Best of luck, anyway.
Thank you.
We have our X140 John Deere mower in for a small bit of attention because it won't start. Well, it did start and then it stopped. Time of year again when the grass is growing and we need to get it up and running. Now, Mick, generally what happens with petrol and...
Water and petrol. Well, you get condensation over the winter in the tanks now. You're going to get a bit of water now. There was a lot in this, because I took a lot out of this a week ago.
Yeah.
Now, whether I got it all out or not is the question. But if you look there, you can just about see the... I don't know if you can pick it up in the camera. See the line of the water there? Across? That line there. That's the water in the bottom. The petrol will always float in water. It's a lower density, isn't it? That's the term. I took that out of the car, which is down here in the front. So it looks like it rained a lot again.
Yeah, so we're going to drain all that out of it. You can see
a bubble in there.
Yeah, very, very clear.
I don't know, is that a help? Can you see that, Kate, the line?
You can actually see the line right
see the bubbles as well in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But there's a line there.
That's petrol on the outside.
It's a great way of checking, and it's with these lawnmowers too, every year or two, it's always worth draining the carburetor. And also, what I forgot to say, this one had a John Deere filter originally on it, and the filter is not on dirt travel, it's water travel, but you can't blow through it, it's stuffed.
Okay.
So I put an ordinary filter on it, which is all I had at the time.
Now make this little contraption here.
Yep, fuel shut off solenoid. That's in the bottom of the carburetor. When you're running, that's that way. When you turn it off, that's that way. That shuts off the fuel to the main jet, which is the supply into the engine. And that stops the backfire when you turn it off. The older lawnmowers used to do. Well, they used to do backfire, but that could be a drop of petrol, yeah. Oh, in the old days, it used to be a hell of a whack, bang out of them. That's to stop that. Worth checking always.
To make sure it's free.
Yep, and working. The time we're plugging it in, I don't know if it'll work here, we'll try it. Turn on the ignition there, Paul. Paul, turn on the ignition. We should see that shoot in.
It would make it the key.
See? And off. That's it.
So once you get them few problems sorted, Mick, we'll be ready for grass. You'll probably go and do a bit of a demo yourself, will you? Go ahead.
No, thanks. I prefer me computer.
Right. So we've a Hiva disc harrow in, went to use it the other day, was after replacing bearings and all that end of it was completely fixed up. Then we sprung an eye leak. When we got to the field, on first view we can see that the cap has slightly...
Looks like it's losing off. Well, it's off from one side more so.
And it's
off. Whether it's gone slack and kicked a bit, Paul.
Yeah, so the piston just might be kicking a little bit, but it's absolutely flying oil out of it here. And if I put my hand in here, I can actually feel the O-ring.
Yeah, sticking out.
Sticking out, so we're
going
to
have to spin the cap off and see. We'll have to take that off.
We'll take the ram off. We're going to open up the cap and see what's going on in there. But yeah, there's always
something.
Always something. That's it.
Started as a whisper, message from a new world I'd never known. Something about it felt like it'd been waiting my whole life. Is this home? I can hear each sound calling my name, and I feel angels around when I start to sing, and suddenly it feels like heaven's not so far away. Tell me, can you hear the symphony?
So that's it for this week's Workshop Wednesdays. Apologies that we hadn't got it last Wednesday, but as you can imagine, the weather was so good, and all the guys, even David, everyone was out working on the farm, and we just hadn't got a chance to record it. So yeah, hopefully everything from now on should be okay. So we talk to you all next Wednesday.